The air was thick with the smell of rain-soaked pavement. A chill wind howled through the narrow alleyway, sending shivers down my spine. Empty boxes and overflowing trash cans lined the brick walls, casting long, dancing shadows in the dim light from the street lamp at the corner. That's when I saw it, a shadowy figure standing at the far end of the alley. I hesitated, unsure whether to turn back or continue. My heart pounded in my chest. Curiosity and fear battled within me. I took a step forward, then another. I had to see who or what was lurking in the shadows. As I cautiously approached, the figure remained motionless. My heart pounded in my chest, each beat echoing in the silence of the night. The closer I got, the more I could feel an inexplicable sense of dread washing over me. The dim light made it difficult to discern any features, but two things stood out with unsettling clarity. Its eyes. They seemed to be the only source of light in the oppressive darkness, drawing me in with an almost hypnotic pull. They glowed with an unnatural yellow light, piercing through the darkness like a predator stalking its prey. The intensity of their gaze was unnerving, as if they could see right through me, into the depths of my soul. "Hello?" My voice echoed through the empty alley, barely a whisper. The silence that followed was deafening, amplifying the tension in the air. There was no response. The figure didn't move. It stood there as if frozen in time, adding to the eerie atmosphere. It felt like a statue, cold and unyielding. The air around it seemed to grow colder, as if it was drawing the warmth out of the surroundings. The only indication of life was the eerie glow emanating from its eyes. They were the only thing that seemed to move, flickering slightly as if alive with some malevolent energy. The fog, thick and heavy, began to roll in, swirling around the figure like a ghostly shroud. It moved with an almost sentient quality, wrapping around the figure and obscuring it further. It seemed to cling to the figure, adding to its otherworldly presence. The fog seemed to pulse and breathe as if it was alive. The air grew colder, biting at my skin. I could feel the chills seeping into my bones, making me shiver uncontrollably. The oppressive atmosphere was almost too much to bear. "Who are you?" My voice echoed in the stillness, a desperate plea for an answer. I called out again, my voice trembling slightly, betraying the fear that gripped my heart. The only response was the echo of my own words bouncing off the damp brick walls, amplifying my anxiety. The figure remained silent, unmoving, those glowing eyes fixed on me, piercing through the fog. A wave of fear washed over me, urging me to turn and run, but my legs refused to obey. My feet felt rooted to the spot. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe, as if the air itself had turned to stone. The figure's silence was more terrifying than any growl or scream could have been, a void of sound that swallowed my courage. It was the silence of something ancient, something unknowable, a presence that felt older than time itself. The yellow eyes seemed to burn brighter, cutting through the fog and into my very soul, exposing my deepest fears. I could feel its gaze on me, heavy and intense, like a physical weight pressing down on my chest. It felt like it was looking into me, reading my thoughts, knowing my fears, and feeding off my terror. Suddenly, a loud crash from the street outside shattered the silence. The figure flinched, and for a fleeting moment I thought I saw a flicker of movement. Then, just as quickly, it was gone. The figure remained as still as death, its eyes still fixed on me. Was it my imagination? Had it really moved? I couldn't be sure. The fog played tricks on my eyes, distorting shapes and shadows, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched, hunted. The fog continued to swirl, obscuring the figure even further. The yellow eyes, however, remained visible, piercing through the mist like beacons. I knew with chilling certainty that I was not alone. The figure was still there, lurking in the shadows. Another crash, closer this time, jolted me out of my trance. The sound echoed through the narrow alley, amplifying the sense of dread that had been creeping up on me. I backed away slowly, never taking my eyes off the spot where I'd last seen the figure. The shadows seemed to shift and move, playing tricks on my mind. My heart pounded against my ribs, urging me to run. Each beat felt like a drum, echoing the fear that gripped me. As soon as I was a safe distance away, I turned and sprinted towards the street, my lungs burning, my legs aching. The alley seemed to stretch on forever, each step feeling like an eternity. I didn't stop running until I reached the safety of the crowded street, the noise and lights a welcome contrast to the oppressive silence of the alley. The bustling city felt like a different world, a stark contrast to the terror I had just escaped. Even now, safely back in my apartment, I can't shake the memory of those glowing eyes. They seem to pierce through the darkness, burning into my soul. They haunt my dreams, a constant reminder of the shadowy figure lurking in the darkness. Every night I relive the terror, waking up in a cold sweat. Who or what was it? What did it want? The questions swirl in my mind, refusing to be silenced. The questions linger unanswered, a chilling mystery that continues to haunt me to this day. Each day I hope for answers, but the mystery remains, a dark cloud over my life.